So then, out of all the bikes that I've ridden, how would I rate this bike? It's got to be right up there in the top few as this bike. Hi, it's that bloke on a motorbike. Thought I'd come out today and do a bit of a review on my bike. It's a 2004 BMW R1150RT. I picked this bike up last year. I think it was about June or July when I got it. It's joined my collection of bikes. Previously to this one, the main ride was a Honda ST1100. So both touring bikes, but both pretty different. The seating position is lovely and sat up. There's no pressure on my wrists at all. The only downside I can think of is that the foot pegs feel a little bit too high up for me, but I have got used to it over the few months that I've had it, and I don't really feel any problems with it. The seat height is adjustable 3 stages. I think it's about 780mm in the low setting. With it in that setting, yeah, you do feel really cramped up, but you can get your feet easily to the floor. I'm about 5'9", and sometimes the camber can be a little bit tricky getting your feet down there. Overall, comfort wise, it's very nice. Like I say, we've got this nice up position, you've got good visibility, and the seat is extremely comfortable. It does benefit from a screen that you can actually raise and lower as you're riding, electric screen, which I thought at first was going to be really too much of a gimmick, but having ridden with it, it's actually not a gimmick at all. It's extremely useful. So if you're getting into any weather or anything like that, you can just lift the screen up, and it does give you a lot of protection. Looking at the fairing compared to the Honda fairing, it doesn't look like this one's going to give you much weather protection at all. But on the contrary, I've ridden this in some pretty torrential downpours, and the dynamics of it, the aerodynamics, just puts the rain around you. I've not even had to put my waterproof trousers on, so definite tick for that one. If you look at the dashboard in front of us, it's well, you class it as old school, wouldn't you? There's no TFT screens. You've got 2 really nice big dials there. Got your speedo on the left, ref counter on the right. Nice white on black, so it's easy to read. And on the right hand side, we've got the combined fuel gauge, temperature and gear lever, and you've got your clock at our gear position, and you've got your clock underneath. Down at the bottom there, you've got your usual warning lights that you don't want to see coming on. Switch gear, fairly straightforward. It's got that BMW quirk with it though, where you've got the push button, push left for left, right for right, and then up to turn it off. That does take some getting used to. The other thing with the switch gear that it's taking some getting used to, I'm used to on the Honda, just on your index finger on your left side, a little button that you can pull in, which does the headlight flash button. On this one, it's on a rocker switch. Just get around this roundabout. Yeah, on this one it's a rocker switch, and it's quite a reach as well to get to it, so I tend to find that by the time I've needed it, by the time I've found it, it's too late anyway, so not such a bad thing. Flashing people can be mistaken, so you know, it's on me low on the list of negatives on this bike. Comes as standard with heated grips, the 2-stage grips. During winter, because I've ridden all through winter, as much as I could anyway when it wasn't icy, what I've found with them is that if you put them onto number 2 setting, give them about 5 minutes, drop it down onto number 1. I've been riding with these thin summer gloves all winter without any problems whatsoever. So really good, built in, reliable. So what about the brakes? Brake system on this, you've got a dual front disc and a single rear disc. Both brakes are linked, and they've also got ABS. There's no traction control on this, but it does have ABS, and they're all servo assisted, which is very, very good if you need your brakes in anger. Oh, they are superb, but there is a big downside to it, and that is at low control speed. Bad enough having linked brakes when you're trying to do a little bit of back brake control and you get the front brake coming on, so it tends to just try and sit the front end up a bit. But if you're going at walking pace and you, other than absolutely just try and stroke that back brake, suddenly it grabs and the whole plot stops. So that could be a bit dangerous at times. Performance wise, you've got 95 brake horsepower, which on paper isn't a lot, but in the real world it's absolutely ample for what you want to do. This is not a bike that you're going to go really quick round a racetrack with, but it will go quick around normal roads, A roads, B roads, and some of the absolutely little back lanes. It just absolutely, it loves it, really does love it. So let's do a bit of a more in-depth look at this BMW. It's 1150cc's, 95 brake horsepower, somewhere just under 70 foot-pounds of torque. It's a flat twin engine with oil cooling, so it's classed as an oil head. Shaft drive on the back. Single disc on the back of it. We've got the official BMW panniers, which make it look wide, but it's not really that wide. And then on this side we've got the exhaust, just a single exhaust on this, and twin discs at the front. Linked ABS and servo brakes. We've got two power sockets down there, so you can get power from the bike if you need it. Up in front, got the speedo, ref counter, just standard configuration, multi-display there, and then you've got all your normal controls. The only thing with this is, with the BMW, it's push for left, push for right, lift that up for both of them. Heated grips as standard. I've obviously fitted the Garmin, which is not a new one, but why spend money when you don't need to? I've also put the two auxiliary mirrors on. That just clears me blind spots for me. Thing here for my heated jacket, little controller down there for heated jacket, and then the cables for intercom system. So overall, a very nice bike. Got the screen is adjustable up and down. One thing you've got to remember with these, when you switch it on, the brakes do a self-test. So when I switch on, you can see we've got the flashing light there, and then that will slow down, that one goes out, and now I can touch the brakes. If I touched the brakes before, it doesn't get a chance to go through its ABS set and do its self-checks. Much better to do it according to the manual. And that's it. That's the BMW R1150RT. So let's go and have a bit of a ride on it, see what it's like out on the road. So what's it like on the handling stage? Well, at the front we've got the paralever suspension, which is common to all BMWs now, and that does keep that front end really nice. You don't get any twist if you're braking hard or accelerating hard. The front forks, no, with it on the paralever, they're not adjustable at all. The rear is adjustable. It's a single shock, and to get to alter the preload on it, which basically is the only thing I'm bothered with, you just take off the right cover in front of the pannier and you can get to it, and it's very easy to use. No spanners needed, no screwdrivers. One little clip gets the panel off, and then you can just turn it with your hand. So if you're setting this up to go solo, or you're carrying a passenger, or you're carrying luggage, you're going away on tour, very, very easy. You're not having to think, oh god, I've got to get all the spanners out to do it, and you know, be tempted to ride without adjusting it properly. In bends, it's very neutral. As long as you set it up when you're going in, there ain't too much of an issue. In fact, there's no issues whatsoever. It does have the BMW trait, with it being an offset boxer engine, that if you open the throttle, you got the flywheel going clockwise. So if you're leaning over to your left and you open the throttle, it wants to sit up. If you open the throttle going in a right hand bend and you snap it open, it wants to try and throw you straight down into the floor. Easily getting used to that, not a problem whatsoever. So we do have a decent turn of speed there. That's 5th gear roll on, so it's perfectly adequate for squirting past traffic. Although wide bike, you can get through some seriously small gaps as well for when you're filtering. So that is a big advantage. Screen position, I mentioned earlier that you can move the screen, so put it into the down position, nice and streamlined. But I am getting a little bit of buffeting inside me into my helmet. If I put the screen up, I can get it up so that now I'm having to actually look through the screen. I don't like that, but taller riders, it will certainly be of a bit of advantage for yourselves. You can flick it around bends to a certain degree, but it's not my riding style. I prefer using the counter steer, a little bit of pressure on opposite bar just to bring it round. Can be deceptively quick. At the moment we're doing 50 miles an hour on my sat nav, it's indicated about 55, and it don't feel like it's moving at all. Economy wise, it's not bad. It says 255 miles according to the BMW spec sheet. I'm getting consistently around about 225 to 230 miles to a tank full, getting down to 1 bar. It came as standard, did this, with the BMW panniers. The guy that I bought it off had also got a top box on it, which was very useful. I've not ridden with it yet, but I'm hoping to get away and do some longer distance touring, so it'll be extremely good for doing that. The panniers themselves, drawback, I can't get a helmet in. So if you're going out somewhere just for a day out, you can't put your helmet in the pannier. Other than that, they're very good. This bike came with the official BMW internal panniers, so you don't have to take the whole pannier off the bike. You just take it in a bag, which makes it easy for packing before you're going and going in and out of hotels. I say this one came with the big Givey top box, which will get at least 1 full face helmet, probably 2. I've not tried it, but probably will get 2 in. I don't normally ride with it on, but it does mean that the platform on the back is extremely useful. So when you're stood, if you're stopping for a coffee, you've got a built-in table. Bonus. So then, out of all the bikes that I've ridden, how would I rate this bike? It's got to be right up there in the top few as this bike. For these type of roads that we're on at the moment, I can't think of a bike which I would rather be riding. It's nice, and the upright position gives you a nice command view. It's not putting any strain on my body whatsoever. It just feels very, very nice. A bike you could get on and ride all day. On overall power and pickup, the Honda ST1100 beats it, no doubt whatsoever, but that is a V4 engine. This is the flat twin boxer oil cooled engine, so it's never going to be as smooth, it's never going to rev up as quickly, but for character, yeah, it's definitely got it. Love the sound of it. When you do get a bit of a chance to accelerate, you get a deep throat sound. If you like rolling the throttle on, roll off sort of riding, then this is right up your street really. It is mine anyway. I can't see me getting rid of this bike anytime soon. So my overall thoughts, very, very nice. Ticks all my boxes. It's got shaft drive. I don't have to worry about any chains or maintenance in that area. It's reasonably economic, it's very comfortable to ride. I could ride it all day long and not feel it really. Value wise, I bought this one last year for £2,000, and I can quite honestly say I do think it's the best £2,000 I have spent. It's now got 67,500 miles on, just about, and it still feels smooth, still feels responsive. So BMW R1150RT, second hand, very nice bike. Why would you want to go out and spend, you know, £15,000 on a new bike when something like this will get you out, get you cornering, get your bike in, and give you lots of smiles per miles. With the money that I've saved by getting a used bike, second hand one in good condition, that's going to give me a lot of fuel that I can go out and enjoy. So if you get a chance to grab a ride on one, I'd highly recommend it. It's not the bike for everybody, but you might be surprised. So if you want to subscribe and hit the bell, then when I do put anything else up you'll see it. That will be amazing. In the meantime, ride safe, and I'll see you out there.